Hello everyone, this is Dane. Welcome to my review of episode number 7 of Aim to be a Pokemon Master. This episode is titled Riding on Lapras. I'm going to get this straight out of the way. This is the best episode of Aim to be a Pokemon Master so far. This episode is so good. There are so many good things about this episode. I'm going to go ahead and straight up and say it. I only have one thing I didn't really like about the episode. It's not something I even didn't like. It was just something I'm like, oh, I wish this would have had more screen time, but whatever. We're going to get into that. This episode doesn't really have a great premise if you think about it. Like, it's just an episode about helping this Wailmer get out of a hole. It's the same sort of plot that you would get out of the Marshtomp episode in Journeys. It's very similar to that. But the things they do in this episode, the way this episode is written, is very smart. The things Ash does in this episode is extremely smart. This episode is written like Ash is indeed a champion and he is a Pokemon Master. It's crazy. So, this episode, Lapras returns, as you can tell by the title. The goal of the entire episode is to get this Wailmer out of this hole. That's the whole premise of the whole episode, right? It doesn't sound great on paper, but the execution of it is just really good. In this episode, we get to see the return of Ash's Kingler, his Sirfetch'd, his Heracross, his Bayleaf, his Torterra. His Torterra does things in this episode. His Torterra is useful. Wow, they did it. They made Torterra useful. Brock's Marshtomp returns and Misty's Gyarados returns, and if there's anything I missed, I apologize, but there was a lot of returning Pokemon in this episode. Ash had a full team in this episode. He had a full 6 Pokemon in this episode for the very first time in the series so far. Wow. Okay, so yeah, the whole premise, like I said, is getting Wailmer out of this hole, right? And all of Ash's Pokemon end up helping out in some way, shape, or form, and they all do amazingly at it. Ash is very smart about how to get the Wailmer out of this hole, right? If you think about it, this episode is kind of filler. I mean, a lot of people are saying this whole series is filler, but to me, I was entertained the entire time. There's a moment where Sirfetch'd is surfing on his shield when they fail to get one of the moment when they try to get the Wailmer out of the hole. I think like the first time, they all get knocked back. Sirfetch'd gets on the shield and he surfs for a little bit. I mean, come on, that's great. So they end up rescuing the Wailmer at one point, right? It's all good. And Wailmer is all happy. He's jumping in happiness. By the way, the Latias is in this episode again. He's just hanging out all secretly watching Ash for 11 episodes. It seems like maybe 10. I don't know. We'll see. He's jumping up in happiness, this Wailmer, as he's all happy. He's like, I made it out of the hole. I'm out of the hole. Yay! And then he jumps and falls into another hole. And he evolves into Wailord. I'm sorry, but that is absolutely hilarious, and the expressions on their faces when that happens is absolute gold. Amazing. So, there's a moment where they're like, wait a minute, we're going to need more power, and then Pikachu notices, just Pikachu notices Team Rocket's little Magikarp machines. He sees the little thing sticking out, the little like visor. What's he gonna do? Well, sassy little Pikachu goes over there and he literally threatens Team Rocket to help them. The expression that Pikachu makes, like that he's like got this little evil little look on his face, like like it's absolute gold. It's like peak Pikachu, I think. Like he gets to the point where he's about to shock them. He actually does shock them at one point. They're like, huh, all of a sudden I think we should help Lord Pikachu here. And I think it was Mr. Pikachu is what they say. Lord Pikachu, same thing, I guess. But the fact that they say Mr. Pikachu is great. Team Rocket in this episode is peak Team Rocket. The best Team Rocket moments in all of Pokemon is when they're helping out Ash and crew. And that's what they do here. This is peak Team Rocket. It's one of the best Team Rocket moments in a long, long time, I think. So Ash comes up with this genius plan, I think, to help this Wailord by just pulling it out, right? You know, but the idea that all of Ash's Pokemon are helping out in some way, along with Team Rocket, is helping out too. the amount of teamwork just done in this moment alone, when the second time when Team Rocket's helping out, is just really, really good. I can't praise this enough. It's just like, I've watched this episode 3 times now. You know, I watched it weeks ago when it came out, rewatched it again, and then I rewatched it again because I was like, man, I want to watch this moment again because it was actually just really good. Especially the Pikachu and just Team Rocket moment there was just, it's so funny. This episode's written hilarious. It was hilarious. Like, I haven't laughed at a Pokemon episode this much. I don't think ever, you know. So Pikachu's in the Magikarp machine helping them out, you know, motivating them to keep pedaling. He's like, you know, he's like, row, row, row kind of thing. And then there's a moment when they bring back these little bottles that Team Rocket is trying to drink out of. And it's got the little Blaziken drink thing on it. And I'm thinking this is actually a Journeys reference, maybe? I think that's what they were doing here. I don't know, but okay, sure. They succeed in actually getting the Wailord out of the hole. It's all good, right? But Ash is still stuck in there at the end. So there's a moment where Ash and Heracross are like, Heracross is holding on to Ash, and Ash is like cross-legged, and he's like sitting there thinking about what he could do to, you know, get out of this mess. And I was just like, bro, we need more Ash and Heracross moments. I miss it, and I love it so much. So in the end, Lapras is the one to go rescue Ash, and I really like this a lot. That was the only nitpick I kind of have about the episode. I'm not really going to take it away from the score because it's not really a nitpick. I mean, it is, but it's kind of like, I wish we got more Lapras in the episode. There was so much going on with other Pokemon and a lot of other Ash's Pokemon showing up that Lapras didn't exactly get a ton of time to shine. But I think at the very end of the episode, it kind of made up for it, I think. So Lapras and Ash, of course, say their farewells at the episode. Pikachu, I'm sorry, Team Rocket get blasted off in the water at some certain point. They think they're gonna come back and try to get Pikachu, and then it doesn't really work out for him. So I thought that was kind of funny there. But Lapras gets to meet up with his old friends again, the other Lapras, and it really got me. That actually really got me there. So their journey continues, right? Well, there was a moment, I believe, when I was watching this episode weeks ago, and I was just like, why don't they just throw a Pokeball at it? I'm yelling the whole time at the screen, yo, throw a Pokeball at this Wailord. That'll solve all of your problems, Ash. You don't need to do this. And I was thinking, man, this is a waste of time. Why are we not doing this? And then they actually bring it up. They bring it up in the episode. At the end, they're like, huh, wait a minute. Ash, couldn't we have just thrown a Pokeball at the... Oh, crap. So the writers didn't forget about that. That's amazing. Like, wow. There were so many good things here. We got Brock's Marshtomp and Misty's Gyarados showing up. Like, bro, that's just crazy. They made Torterra do something. Bayleaf showed up. You know, Heracross, Surfetch'd. Surfetch'd is kind of... Well, we've seen Surfetch'd a lot. I mean, it's Journey, so I don't know if we've seen him a lot exactly. His Kingler's back. Like, bro, it's crazy. But I think my favorite part of the whole episode really was just... I think I've mentioned this twice or 3 times now. The Pikachu and Team Rocket thing. That was just so funny. And the amount of teamwork Ash did with his Pokemon here. Absolutely great. And this... I think this episode just proves that Ash is a Pokemon master. Out of any NPM so far, any NPM episode so far, this is the one I feel like that shows that he is one. You know, the amount of strategy that he makes, the decisions that he makes with his Pokemon, how much he cares about Pokemon, that he wants to help. You know, every episode so far, at least a lot of the episodes, has been about Ash helping out Pokemon in some way, right? This episode just shows that even more, but in a better way, I feel like. So, yeah. This episode's rating is a 10 out of 10. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please be sure to leave a like. It's greatly appreciated. And subscribe for all things Pokemon. Okay guys, I'll talk to you later.